Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sergeant. It's good to have you back in the saddle. It's good to have everyone here today. We pray for safe passage as members are traveling to the meeting and afar. We'd like to start this meeting off in the right way by having our invocation by Past President Bradley King.
We again thank you, Father, for the privilege of being Rotarians and to have this meeting together. May we operate in the spirit of service of ourselves, bless our community activities, bless those who are less fortunate, never help them, bless our president, bless our board, bless our food. May it do our bodies good for your glory. We commit this meeting to you now. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Thank you, Past President Bradley. Bishop Bradley, Past President Bradley. We now have the loyal toast by President-elect Sean Roll.
Judge, please raise your glasses to the King.
We will continue with our national anthem, led by one of our newest members, Kerry Turnquest.
Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your bearing. Pledge to excel through love and unity, pressing onward, march together to a common loftier goal. Steady sunward, blow the weather, eyes so wide and treasure show. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland, till the road you trod leads unto your God. March on, Bahamaland.
Thank you, Rotarian. Sounds good, eh? Rotarian Kerry Turnquest. We see one of our other new members, Cameron Smith, in the audience, and then Carlos Butler. I guess he should be on the way. We know that any given, he's here. Okay, it's Carlos. Yeah, Carlos. Okay, he slipped in. You find him? He got his voice fine. But we're glad to have our newest members with us. We know that at any given moment on a Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock, the sunny Isle of New Providence, we hear the national anthem. And that's one thing in our club. We understand that our secretary is in Tokyo. And I heard that he might have been singing the national anthem. I have to check. But he found a club very fast. But we continue on with the four-way test. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And the fifth one,
Make it fun.
will it be fun? Thank you very much.
Make it fun.
Make it fun, yes. Thank you. Be seated. Rotarians, we again welcome you to this meeting today. We want you to be on your best behavior as we are filming the meeting, aspects of the meeting today. And we are also having the who I is. I was saying who I am, but past president said that I was incorrect. Who I is. And I remember several months ago, my 16-year-old saying, "Daddy, that's you," on YouTube. And he found my video. It was about 5 likes on it. 5 likes and it was, I think we were speaking at the Great Cliff, or I think it might have been Buena Vista. And I was given my who I is, which of course, Christie style, went about 10 minutes. But I must say that I heard a lot of laughter, jokes as Great Cliff, Great Cliff, I think it was Great Cliff. But it started me thinking about, as we bring in new members to not only do the who I is, but to film them and to place it into the Facebook page. We've asked them today to give us a few words about themselves. their career, why they joined Rotary, and that'd be very useful. That maybe your son or daughter might find it 10 years from now and say that's you. All right, so we are, Dorlan Curtis is here today and doing that filming of the Who I Is speeches. Just as we continue, we are certainly more so on the downside journey of this plane ride. As we start to land, the plane started a little rocky, and then we started to smooth out as we land, and as we begin to deliver the passengers onwards to the incoming president, we want to make sure that we carry out projects. So last night the Project Gambia team met. Jeff Davis is captaining that with Brendan and Past President Brendan and Past President Cadwell. Newest Carlos starting on that. And we have a plan now to build that shelter over at least one of the bleachers. We have a grant in hand of $4,500. We're also delivering a letter to Chairman Mikhail Barnaby at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches, who I've already spoken to about the project. He seems excited because, again, we just want to build on the People Park. We build on People Park without permission, and so we're in touch with him, and he seems excited, and we want to make sure that we carry that project out. We also have a date for the assembly, which is March 23rd. I want you to pencil that in. Again, some things that we do are modernized. Some things that we do, we look at the past and we find that they certainly were very useful and are things that possibly we can do now. I remember that at least one assembly was held at a number of fellowships, and one assembly I recall was held at Paul Hepburne's house. And so we've now gotten his and his wife's permission to have the assembly on March 23rd, which will make it, those who've been to his house very comfortable. We'll have the usual stew fish, boiled fish. There's some other stuff that I'll place the sergeant or somebody else in charge of, but we'll have some other drinks there, and that was really the best setting we could come up with, and we want to thank Past President Paul for always being helpful to us in that regard. So you'll get a formal notice March 23rd, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, for the club assembly. We will also present the club's financials. The treasurer has confirmed to us that he will present the club's financials and Night of Christmas Music report and answer any questions as we go forward. Okay, so we look forward to that. So we'll let you continue. We don't have a speaker today, but we will at some point begin to have our newest members come out and give their speeches. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Good to see you all. I thought I'd share this good news with you. I was called into a conference call by the Rotary Clubs of Cyprus. And attending that call was the past district governor of the clubs, as well as the current district governor. And why I was called in that meeting, accompanied by District Governor nominee-elect Lindsay Cancino, was that they were aware of the work that Rotary Bahamas Disaster Relief has done in Abaco. And they were interested in learning about the model that was used, the funding channels, structure that was used, and the current IT platform that was used with disaster response. The meeting was quite intense. They had a lot of questions, and their objective is to use that model for Rotary clubs to provide disaster response in Gaza when the war is complete. So I say that because I'm proud of what Rotary Bahamas and all our partners have done in Abaco for them to take notice. But I'm also excited about the opportunity it has for Rotary clubs in the Bahamas to collaborate in partnership with this very serious disaster response that Rotary International is going to mount into Gaza after the war is done. So us being a part of that, having that opportunity is great. I want you to think about it, wrap your minds around it. I'm going to bring some project opportunities to the club through funding and those who want to participate on the ground. it's going to be there for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, PAG Brian. I tell you, the Rotary clubs at the Bahamas, that's all the clubs, are making history all over the world. As you know, this small little island had an international president already. And there may be another one in the making. President-elect and Treasurer.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. It is with pleasure that I say to you, we began our board, the incoming board, 2024-2025. We started our WhatsApp group to begin our communications and discussions amongst ourselves. One of the key things that I wanted to talk about today was I've been told to start planning early. Without a plan, you know, we can't do anything. We need, you know, I've been told it's good to work on a 3-year plan. So Secretary Daniel and I have begun our conversations. We're looking towards building a plan that allows for continuity as different administrations come in. One of the things that was also suggested to me that I'm going to heed is also having an early club assembly. Now, as an incoming president, I'm going to ask the president to host this, but we're looking to do this in either May or June. I know we have a lot of things going on in May with the raffle, and so it may be June, slightly after the raffle, to do a club assembly, but I think that's good. So it sets us off on the right foot to make sure we have all the things that we need to do so that we can have a successful 2024, 25, and beyond going. So I say all that to ask for those who have expressed their support for the new board to continue to give us support. Your ideas are welcomed. Let us know what's going on, what you think, so that we can push those things as best we can out to make the Rotary Club of West Nassau, well, not to make, to continue to make the Rotary Club of West Nassau the greatest Rotary Club in the Bahamas. Thank you.
Fellow Rotarians, before we sit down and turn back over to the president, we want to let you know that the grant and the project meeting was held last evening, and a few of us are going to go down at 2 o'clock today and confirm the size, the shape, and the identify footings, etc., etc. So on your behalf, we will go down today. We have the architect, our own in-house architect, will draw up a sketch so we can get a proper quote from the contractor and we can hold them to it. Thank you very much, Mr. President. All yours.
Thank you, Past President Brendan. Again, we appreciate your help on this, and we should use the chance to thank you and others for the in-kind contributions. I mean, I was at the Persis Rogers last year trying to hold a hammer, and Harry had his chainsaw, but you had the labor. You know, you provided some persons to help us with labor, and you were always useful. When you guys were talking last night with the Carlos and yourself and Jeff, you had that technical jargon, you know, with the architecture, and it was interesting to be a fly on the wall last night. So slope and the sides and all of that stuff. So hopefully that project will take place. P. Sean knows that we've been talking every day. We talk about Rotary, and he's on the right path. And March 23rd, I could view as a chance to lay out some plans, initial plans, and I certainly the outgoing is wanting to work with you, and a lot of the outgoing board are actually moving into the incoming, so that, you know, we have that continuity. So March 23rd was chosen as a way to not only talk about some of the things that we had done this year and give the financial results, but also to perhaps have a segment in there where you could be you could talk a bit about upcoming plans as we start to land the plane. So again, that's a crucial date coming up. At this time, we're going to move ahead and ask one of our members, newest members, to come up. We have Carlos Butler, who's an architect at Ministry of Works. We have Cameron Smith, who's in real estate with a considerable banking experience. And then we have Kerry Twainquist, who's in the tourism industry, hotel project management. So again, we talk in Rotary about the spread, the diversity of the occupations. And so now we have 3 persons who bringing that occupational experience to us as well. And so we are going to start with the Who I Is speeches. And we've told them not to go more than, I don't think we'll have a problem with that today, right? But we're going to start with Cameron, who's going to come up first to do the Who I Is presentation. Cameron?
Who I am, or the club say who I is. I am Cameron Smith, the only son of Glenn Smith, the second child of Carla Taylor. I hail from Freeport, Grand Bahama, but have a mixture of blood where my family is from Freeport, Long Island, and Eleuthera. So not only Brandon Watson have Long Island roots in the club.
There you go.
Christy too. I have one son who is at the age of 10. My hobbies are mostly anything active. Boating, golfing, anything sports-wise I like. I visited Evangelist Temple on Sunday, where I see Rotarian Lopez was in assemblies on Sundays. I have been in banking for the past 22 years, directly out of high school. Since banking, I have now ventured into the real estate market, which I've been in the real estate business for the last 2 years. I probably am one of the only Bahamians who was successful at their job and worked themselves out of a job. I listened to my boss. So I was invited about 3 years ago initially by Arthur Chase to Rotary, and since then I have been coming around. I know several of the Rotarians here present, and my interest of joining was basically being a part of another organization with like-minded individuals willing to give back to the community and have the same goals for country. So that is who I am in a nutshell.
Cameron told me to say he would only go a minute. It's a little longer, but good job. Good to have you here, man, and good to know you got Long Island roots, man. That's, Brandon. My mother's surname is Carroll, Carroll. So that's deep in Roses, Long Island. But we claim Andrews as well. But we also want to recognize Dolan Curtis. He's technically the only guest that we have here. So he's been.
He's a member.
Hmm?
I thought he was a member.
He's a member, no, not of this club, right? Yeah. But he's videography, doing some good. I saw your work before, and so we asked you to come and film this today. We're gonna have our Sergeant at Arms. He told me he thought I was leaving him out. No, man, we want to make sure that he collect those fines and raffle the raffles. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so
How do we welcome our Sergeant?
Warmly. Thank you very much, fellow Rotarians and guests. Just a few donations we're asking for today. We got to put something in the coffers. For those individuals, those Rotarians who came late, and they are as follows. Past President Harry Kemp. We're coming to, he's never late, he's always on time, but we're going to ask for a donation. Four-way test. And then we're going to also come around to past President Eric Lopez, who's never late, but he came a little not on time. And I want to get one for Arthur Chase. 3 years this gentleman has been coming to the club, and you finally just getting him into the membership, so I'm coming for a fine. 3 years, he said. 3 years. So I'm coming. I'm leaving the club, but I'm going to fine you today. And then we have a very new member. He came in late. Do you believe that fellow Rotarian? We got to get Carlos Butler. We're going to get him today. We're going to find him today, even as he come to say who I is. You know, I too had some roots from Long Island. My grandpa was from Long Island. And so I asked him, Brother Brendan, one day, I said, Grandpa, how is it you and Grandma don't really have no fuss and fight over the many years? You know, I said I had 1 or 2 girlfriends and even a marriage that we fuss and fight a lot. So I asked my grandpa, he said, son, sit down, let me tell you something about your grandma. She is from Devil's Point, Cat Island. I said, okay. He said, when we went on a honeymoon, we used to have to use a donkey for transportation. So we were going up to this very high hill, and the donkey was responsible for carrying her. And one time the donkey threw her off, and for whatever reason, the donkey caused your grandma to fall off. So your grandma got up, brushed off, and told the donkey, that's one. A little further on the journey, Brother Sawyer, the donkey threw my grandma off again, according to my grandpa. She took out one double-barrel gun, shoot the donkey, and they went ahead and have a beautiful, beautiful honeymoon. So he said on that same honeymoon, he did something and said something all the way to my grandma. And my grandma said to him, that's one. That's it. Moving right along. For all those of you who are celebrating anniversaries, happy birthdays, we want to really say a very happy birthday on behalf of the club, the directors and members. We want you to know how much we welcome you, and we want to share in your special anniversaries. We don't have the sergeant to tell me of those who might have had anniversaries even as they became new members, but we want to say happy anniversary. And if you're celebrating a birthday, or if you had celebrated birthdays in the past quarter, we say happy birthday and happy belated birthday. Last but not least, I want to encourage you to remember the raffle. You know, that's our big grand fundraiser. It's coming. The committee chairman is working very hard, and we look forward to you participating and doing a wonderful job. And I want to find past area governor Brian for doing such a wonderful job that even in Suriname, is it Suriname or is it in the Gaza Strip? Wherever it is, we are moving in places, and according to the establishment, the organization of how the hurricane preparedness was, let's give him a round of applause while we find him for doing such a great job in the disaster. And that's it. Let's enjoy the meeting. Have a good time. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant. Boy, you were staying away from the jokes, but you're back at it, man. So we might make you sergeant for life. At this time, I want to, they say when you start to thank people, your term is coming to an end. But I've been thanking people all through. But particularly thanking, I see my advisor here, past President Eric, and also past President Harry. Always accessible early in the morning. I could get Eric in the evening and Harry in the morning. So good to have you as advisors. And I think Eric I know last year you gave a presentation to the club. You remember that. You gave a presentation to the club, and we were talking about the wisdom that we have in this club and why persons would be interested in coming into the club. One of the reasons is really being mentored even at an older age and having a lot of persons with not just a network of financial persons with finance, but with wisdom. And so maybe this filming, as we film, perhaps we can film some of those presentations as well to help other clubs who are always asking about various aspects of Rotary. We have, for instance, 2 past assistant governors here, Brian and Brendan, persons who have a wealth of knowledge about Rotary. Okay? At this time, we're going to ask Kerry Turnquest to give his Who I Is presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good afternoon. This is I'll share a little bit about who I is. First, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and I'm on a spiritual journey for continual improvement. As I mentioned in the last session, I'm a member and follower of East Street Gospel Chapel. A little bit about my family. I am a husband, married Kindira Benaby for almost 6 years, and we have 2 little boys, Ben and William. Ben is 4 and William is 2, so there's a whole lot of chaos happening in my house right now. Beyond family and beyond work, just as Mr. Smith, involved in anything active. So I'm into fitness, into running. I've ran 1 marathon and 2 half marathons. Before, loved tennis, loved basketball, fitness, swimming. I'm recently taking up golf, so I need some golf lessons. So anytime you're on the links, let me know. I'd love to join you. And last year, I gained my scuba certification, PADI, so I'd love to get out in the water more often as well. What's that? A little bit about my education and professional experience. I went to QC here and then went to Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. There I studied history and Latin American and Caribbean studies. Was exploring and trying to figure out where I wanted to go professionally. Really interesting fact, during my college years, I was really formative. I spent a semester on a summer in Mexico, and there I gained fluency in Spanish and have made a whole lot of friends in Mexico as well. During one of the summers there, I interned at Atlantis and really fell in love with the hospitality industry. I had a fun and dynamic career, and still have one, in hospitality, and have spent a whole lot of time in rooms and in food and beverage. I had a lot of great mentors, and we'll talk a little bit about mentorship. And they helped to guide me in my career to not just be a part of a particular division of its rooms or food and beverage, but to have a more holistic experience in hospitality. I've had courses and certificates through eCornell, and was most recently a part of the Young Leaders Forum through the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association of hoteliers under 45 who are emerging in the industry. 2 years I spent in Turks and just returned home a few months ago, and there I managed a small part of a bigger resort at Beaches Turks and Caicos there as well. It was an international workforce and really enjoyed living and working in Turks. We realized that for the betterment of my boys, to have the village, we have a big family, to have the village help to raise them, so to speak, we decided to return home after Thanksgiving of last year. And so right now I'm working at the Lyford Key Club as the operations project manager. One of the questions was why decide to become a mentor. And I've been blessed to have a whole lot of mentors in my personal life and my professional life who've really guided me personally and professionally. Pastor King has been one of them. And I want to continue to pass the baton, so to speak, to lead others, just as how I've been led as well. I've had success in my career because I've had others who have helped to guide me in my career as well. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is that there are those in Turks and here on Paradise Island who have been promoted as a result of my mentorship, guidance, and leadership. The third question is, why did I decide to join Rotary? And so when I decided to return home, I really wanted to be involved in something civic, in something in the community. And during a sabbatical, Pastor King visited Turks, and we spent some time, and everywhere he went, he had his Rotary hat on. And it seemed as if they recognized him. Someone said, "Oh, I'm part of Rotary of Grand Turk. I'm a part of Rotary of Providenciales." And so obviously there was an international organization that recognized the work that Rotary is doing. Also, now that my role professionally is less operational and more administrative, I have a bit more free time on my hands, or a little bit more, I shouldn't say free time, but a little bit more flexibility in my work schedule. And so I'm really interested in getting involved in more service-oriented activities. One in particular is the environment. Living in Turks, I absolutely fell in love with the environment. You know, we'd be sitting on a beach like this, and there'd be turtles and dolphins coming up. And it just showed how fragile our ecosystem and our environment is, and how we have to continue to take good care of the environment. I think I may have gone over my time. But thank you very much for the warm welcome that I've received so far, and I look forward to getting to know every one of you as we continue to grow in the club.
No Long Island.
Way back Long
I
Island.
mean, that far. Grandfather. Over the Turquoise.
Thank you, Kerry. And we see that we're already moving. We have you are now on the Environment Committee with Director Andrew. And so, we always look at some of the things that we need to improve on, but with the Bahamas in terms of its phasing out of plastic bags to help the environment and sea creatures found on the beach, it never deteriorates. And so there's some things in Rotary that that certainly you could tap into, and I'm hoping that you would touch base with Director Andrew on the environment. Still time left to talk about one or two projects, and perhaps some of the other clubs will be doing some projects shortly. We also partnered through Secretary Daniel with Rotary Old Fort and South Ocean in the cleanup at Adelaide, where we went and actually picked up garbage. People just throw bottles and bags and old fridges, refrigerators, and we didn't pick those up, but we just picked up and whole bags of stuff in the mangrove swamps. And I studied that in part of a course at university with the black mangroves, the white mangroves. Learning about how they provide shelter to the birds and all of that. So definitely there's some opportunity for you there. I know, Carlos, we have you paired up with the fundraising service committee. Service committee, right? I think we told you service. Is it? Yeah, service committee with PP Cadville and fundraising Cameron assigned to the fundraising committee. So it's good to patch in and get some give some ideas as well, because we need the raffle to be energized, and we also need to identify one or two other fundraisers. And hopefully, as PE, Sean and his board meets, developing another signature fundraiser would be one of the things that they look at. Okay. So with no further ado, we'll ask Carlos Butler to come up and do his Who Are You speech.
So my name is Carlos Butler. I was born to the late Eric Butler of Stanyard Creek, Andros, and Teasel Eleanor Pintard of Ragged Island. I grew up here in Nassau. I attended Nassau Christian Academy from kindergarten to grade 6. And this is where I aspired to become a mortician. During my childhood, I would insist that my parents take me to Bethel Brothers every Saturday. It wasn't until I attended St. Augustine's College and during a careers day that the late Jackson Burnside convinced me that I should become an architect. After St. Augustine's, I attended College of the Bahamas for a short period of time, and then I transferred to New York City Technical College in Brooklyn, where I studied architectural technology, and I obtained an associate's degree there. During my college years, like many Bahamians, I struggled financially. During that time, I asked for permission to work, which I was granted. I then worked at an optical store. It was a very, very high-end optical store. It had clients like Lenny Kravitz, Richard Gere, Pharrell Williams, Cyndi Lauper, numerous athletes. No, but just, Bahamians don't be into that. But I did meet somebody who was one of my favorites, Lauryn Hill. So at this time, she was at the top of her career. She walked in. I looked, she was noticeably pregnant, so I was staring at her stomach. So when I looked up, she was smiling. So it just came out of my mouth. I said, who did this to you? So she burst out laughing. She grabbed me by the hand. She said, come outside with me, come outside with me. So she took me outside and she took me to a car and she introduced me to a gentleman who was one of the sons of the Marleys. So that job actually afforded me the financial stability to finish my schooling. And I went on to City College in New York, where I obtained my bachelor's in architecture as well as a bachelor's in landscape architecture. Now I'm a licensed architect and I work for the government, and I work at Administrative Works, where I've been for the past 16 years. A little about my personal life. I'm single. I was baptized at Zion Baptist Church, East and Shirley Street, and I now attend NPCC Lake Road. I enjoy traveling with my close circle of 5 friends. We always travel together. I enjoy a strong drink now and then. I love visiting museums. I like tennis, which I just started last year. I'm into fitness, and I'm very, very detail-oriented. My interest in Rotary began actually a long time ago. I was in high school. I was in Key Club, which is not Rotary, but similar. I remember at a young age reading newspapers and seeing all the things that Rotary did. And with that, I modeled the activities for my Key Club around what Rotaries were doing. I knew little about Rotary until I met Caldwell Pratt at work. He explained the organization to me, and I was given books and books of raffle tickets over the years, which I had no choice in but to just take. All my money was gone. And in the future, I look forward to opening my own firm, which would cater to architecture, engineering, and design. And there you have Carlos Butler in a snapshot.
Thank you, Carlos. We've had a number of members come through the club, and I can't, maybe past presidents can correct me, but these members have been attending for quite a while. You know, they've been out, and so that's what we decided to ramp it up and bring them in. And we could tell from interviewing them that they're sponsors, and we want to give a real thanks to their sponsors as well, PP Cadwell, PP Chase, and PP Bradley. They almost were asking us questions we missed in the interview. So they knew, they were very well briefed, and so it was really a good thing that they were very knowledgeable. It's not so much about us shaping them, but about them shaping us too. You know, I'm coming in and bringing perspective. Carlos is already sitting in on the Project Gambia committee. I'm sure Kerry, already has some ideas in environment, and Cameron was giving us some ideas about service, and so we're definitely on the right track. I know past President Chris used to do this in his administration, so I thought we'd do something like this today as we move towards closure, which we call the Happy Box. The Happy Box. So we want you to dig a little further, and basically what you do is you give some money, and you say why you are happy today, okay? And so we just go around, and just the persons who would say why they're happy, and while you're happy, take some money out of you, just a couple dollars, a Happy Box day, okay? Mr. Sergeant, you're gonna collect, okay? Okay, I'm happy because we have some new members, and we have, the government has given us some audit work, so we can, so I'm happy today. So I'll give you $10, all right? Anybody else want to take us up? Past President Quest, why are you happy today? Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Past President Quest. Anybody else happy today? I'm also happy because we got word that Interact's C.R. Walker has been formally approved after several attempts to follow up. I don't have the paper in hand, but I see the paper signed by District Governor Kakaldi where he approved it. And so I'm happy that we got our C.R. Walker approved, okay? Bradley, the effort that you were doing down at C.R. Walker, it was ironic that H.O. Nash, was active, and when we looked at the list, C.R. Walker was inactive. And since September, we have been following up, filling out various forms, sending it into the ADGs. And, I really wanted to have that done to have a sense of pride for the school. And also that as the new board comes in, that club isn't just sitting there inactive. They can't even order a banner. Because when you order the banner, you have to, they look, Hampton Russell looks at the list and it has to be approved, okay? So we're hoping to get we see the approval by District Governor Cicaldi, but we want to check, we could check the active list too, right? And we also, Rotaract, sorry?
No, it's looking at
Yeah, Rotaractors also have their BVI conference, and they've also reached out to us about some assistance. And the board is meeting next week to determine if we can give them that some assistance. Okay. Thank you, Sergeant. Boy, the sergeant, you got a hot hand, man. We might have to keep your crew. We got 64 from fines, $43 from Happy Bucks, 56 from raffle. So 64 from fines, 43 from Happy Bucks, 56 from raffle, for a total of $163. All right, it's still a little off. 2 minutes. All right. Anyway, thank you for coming. Godspeed as you go. And again, safe passage. Rotary around the world? Thank you.